Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
The secret to muscles is milk. Confirmed. Two Survivor contestants confirmed it. You need milk, nothing but
Yeah,
milk,
especially chocolate milk.
especially.
The superior one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is up, everyone? It is I, Ryan Neo Wayne. And yeah, so this was the Mergatory episode. And yeah, I like this one. There was a lot of memorable moments throughout this one. And I think that this was yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I had to kind of like watch it in like two halves because I was watching a movie, but I had a
mhm,
busy day. I still have busy day, but like yeah, so I had to watch it in two parts, but like both parts were awesome. Yeah.
yeah. I think it was a pretty solid episode. I think it was definitely good. Yeah, I guess we can just hop right on into it. So starting off with Cedric explaining to Say, who Say is just like, I'm okay to talk to everyone but Cedric.
Naturally, she was upset.
Yeah. It was listen, if you're playing Survivor, never go back to camp and be mad at people. Never bark like that. It is only going to hurt you in the game of Survivor. Even if you're like even like if you look at like Mitch and Chrissy, they don't want to work with someone who now just went off like that too, even if it's not directed at them. Like
Yeah.
it just like literally shows everyone that this is just a chaotic person who is not to be trusted when like you don't want to work with
No.
Say. And now there was three other people who are guaranteed wanting to do that. Mary, we've seen in this episode, does not want to work with Say. Um,
After they were buddy buddy and stuff like that, and they had an entire
yeah.
montage of them being like friends.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
it's one of those things where it's like you do that when you're on a tribe, that a small tribe like that
yeah.
with them. But the second it is now open season with a lot of people, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to keep up that
No.
facade. You can throw them under the bus.
Yeah, that's and I think the thing is it's like despite say like being a very messy player and sometimes you want to keep the people well, like I don't think she would get many jury votes at least this point in time.
Oh yeah, no,
But like at
she's
the
not
same
winning.
time, yeah, at this time it's like too much chaos and also it's like she does not she probably has a poker face but she refuses to use it. She's like
Yeah,
no. Uh she tells it how it is and you don't always want that in Survivor.
yeah. She's survived so many rounds. Like the only reason she survives tonight is simply because a SIVA member has not gone home yet. Like
Yes.
that's really, and like yes, there's a little bit of like Charity it doesn't like Eva, and like there's like some of that, but like the real thing that got like the traction was a SIVA member had to go home this round.
Yeah. Because and I mean like that's just strategy, good strategy on their end because it's like, all right, you want to be willing to work with them. And also like Charity just kind of like was setting herself up slowly but surely throughout the pre-merge to kind of be this way.
Yeah.
And so like she was kind of the perfect uh the perfect person to eliminate here. Because now it just proved to all the like original SIVA members that were like part of that voting block just proved to, the two California girls and Eva, like, yeah, we're down to work with each other.
Mhm.
Um, because essentially that seems like the main group that has been forming now. It's the SIVA, like the SIVA and the California girls coming together. Well, most of the SIVA, having this dominant voting block, and they're like, hey, no betrayal, no bullshit, nothing like that. Even though they were like, there's going to be some betrayal and bullshit. It was mostly Dave saying like, hey, we'll just play straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I predicted early on in the season that this might be the alpha male season, like where the alpha
Mhm.
males are gonna bond together and just all the strong players, and we literally are seeing that happen in this episode. And I really see a lot of those players making it pretty deep. I know in like the next time I was writer, they just like we're gonna frame Shaheen, but I don't think that means he's going home next episode. It means that they're probably gonna
Yeah.
try to pull like put the move or whatever on Shaheen, and then maybe try to go for him later. But I don't know. I just feel like the like a lot of those are like the main players of the season have now
Oh
all
yeah.
come together into this one massive alliance that is probably going to run the season based off of the edit. Like um,
The edit and just kind of like, especially after this first vote, it does seem like it's going to go that way.
yeah, because like Joe, David, Shaheen, Eva, Camilla, Kyle, like those are probably the front runners. Like if you had to guess, I know Camilla's not like part of that strong group, but like she's connected through Kyle and she's
Yeah.
close now to Joe and Shaheen, so she's like going to probably be a part of that. But yeah, like literally
Yeah.
those are the players that are likely to win this game, and they are now all in Alliance CS.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, and I think especially because if you're looking at the well, it begs the question of like someone is bound to turn because even though people are preaching that, it's like when you get down to like, like two more people to eliminate on the other side or one, you start to, or yeah, sometimes even three, you start to look within and it's like, can I really beat Joe at the end? Can I really beat Mr. Muscle Milk at the end? Like you start to like question it was like, can I really beat Eva at the, like you start to wonder, it's like, all right, when you have someone like Cedric who has been struggling throughout this game. As soon as whatever tribe he was on for the Earn the Merge, I already knew it was going to lose because I'm like, there's
Yeah.
going to be something. And I was like, the net, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. And it's so crazy because if you go back to episode one, there's a very similar thing that Cedric had to do of getting up a wall and like getting on top, and he couldn't do it. And that basically ruined the challenge for them. And then guess what
yeah,
happened? To earn the merge, the exact same thing happened. He can't get up like a wall or any of that kind of stuff. He can't pull himself up basically. And
no,
that cost him. It cost the tribe and we saw him obviously being sad and upset about it because all of it. By the way, also great episode for Star. I think Star's had a
100%
terrible edit up until this point, like absolutely
agreed.
abysmal. And now it felt like, oh wow, she actually had like a
This
lot of positive things going on.
this was the star we were promised in
Yeah,
preseason.
yeah.
You know, this was the star I was like, I know, all right, because if I were to give like MVP just purely off of like edit or like improvement of the edit, she's like an honorable mention to me. I'm gonna give it to someone else, but like Star like really shined bright in this episode in the sense of like she got a lot of positive coverage and then also a lot of the funny coverage, like at Tribal Council when she was trying to open the marker and went flying.
Mhm.
Oh shit, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad Star it was actually being shown in not a negative way. It was refreshing to actually see because right now there's always been like a few people who get like this really positive, super positive edit this season, and then everyone else feels like they either get nothing or negative stuff. And it's like we, I actually think this is one of the most uneven edited seasons of Survivor in the new era like it feels
I
super
I don't think it's as bad as 44.
44. Yeah, I mean, I agree. 44 was pretty bad. But still, I like we still have so
It's yeah,
we still have someone who is in single digits confessional wise after
yeah,
making it past the earn the merge section. And then
yeah.
you got Say who has like 46 confessionals or whatever it is that she has, which is wild.
Oh yeah.
And and then like if you look at then everyone else, I mean it's like kind of weird. It's interesting. But then also if you just look at like positive and negatives, like I think 44, even though that we were like, this is clearly the Tika 3 winning because of like a lot of extra things going on that was happening. Um
Hmm.
it still felt like other players were still getting positive things that made you kind of go like, maybe there's something with Matt, maybe there's something with Freddie, maybe there's something with Lord.
Oh, there was more than something with Matt and Franny.
Yeah. um so there was like something going on there. I feel like this though, it feels like Joe and David are clearly the like the ones that everyone loves. You got Eva, who has the story, who I think her story was going to get told regardless. So it's hard to like say like edit wise like is it good that we're seeing her story, because guess what, she's her story would have been shown in a positive light regardless.
Yeah,
Shaheen, I don't even think he's getting a like actually that great of an edit. Like I think
I agree.
he's been getting dunked on. Like he is being he's the fall guy right now for Joe. Like
Yeah,
all these things are bad that are also happening to Joe, but we're not being shown that is bad for Joe. We're more shown that is bad for Eva and Shaheen.
yeah. I've been noticing that too. Also, just like he has things to say, but I'm not getting quite the winner edit from him. I feel like he
Yeah,
is definitely a personality on here. If I were to base it off of the edits, I'd say he goes out somewhere around 7 through 9. That's kind
yeah.
of like where I'm seeing.
I feel like 8 through 6. I think he does make it a decent far just because of his relationship with Joe. But I do see at a certain point people are going to blindside him. I don't even think Joe's going to be part of it. I really think Joe's going to be this loyal guy who's loyal to that group, never blindsides, never betrays any of the people in that group, and then manages to get to the end and wins. I just think that that's the story. And we've seen it so many times. Every person who has lied has had that be their comeuppance. And we have now shown the setup for Kyle and Camilla having their lie about being a close duo, which means that that's going to pay off at some point where everyone is going to find out that they are a duo and probably go out back to back.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because like they mentioned it in this episode and they mentioned it in the next time on Survivor as well.
Yeah.
Um and speaking of this episode, I mean it is ironic because one of the biggest truth tellers is Say and they keep targeting her. Like also, I want to give a highlight to Say this episode because she gave one of the funniest visuals in I think definitely a new era. I think it's in a top 20, maybe top 10 of all time when Charity is going for the advantage and Say comes in.
Just comes.
I was dying laughing at that. That's like a meme
Yeah.
in the making.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
when that happened, I was laughing. I was also like, oh my gosh, Say is gonna somehow survive. Uh Luckily it was just for the challenge and it was the Genevieve thing that happened the previous season. Which
yeah.
was not as funny because Genevieve had the Where's Waldo thing going on. Say did not, which that was a little unfortunate.
Mhm.
But yeah, no. Say manages to get it. Another thing that should put a target on her back. I feel like if you get something like that, you should absolutely be getting a target.
Her, I don't know. The thing is, her target's been big this entire game. It's like at a certain point, whether something is so big or so small, even if you add on to it, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I feel like
Yeah,
Say is already the biggest target out there that it doesn't really matter what she can do,
yeah,
to make it bigger because like it's already so big
yeah,
that quantifiably you can't even comprehend how much bigger it can get, even if it did.
yeah, yeah. I wonder who she thinks she's close with, because I don't think that there's a single person out there that she should at all think she's close with.
Probably, unfortunately, Mary, but I know Mary is like, no.
No, no. And that's the problem. She is on her own. It is just hoping that she doesn't get targeted. So like that is all she can hope for. At least
Yeah.
Q. who was I think now she might fall into a Q thing where she's like always this target. Q at least had like Maria who was like going to bat and like helping and trying to make sure Q survived. I don't think I don't think Say's going to get a Maria. I think
No.
Say, if anyone even thinks of being like her Maria, I think I think that's just bad gameplay. Whoever
I
does that.
agree. It just doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to do it because it's like she is a sinking ship. Like if we look at the vote count, like it very well could have been her tonight. I feel like it was just more so like some of the SIVA members were like, listen, to move forward, we're gonna have to let Charity go. So that way, like we don't look like this strong front of everyone being equal and stuff like that. Um so yeah. So yeah, like say it was very likely. Like I was like, the only thing that stopped me from like truly believing that she was going home tonight is purely her confessional count.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally the only thing that's saving her. And like I'm telling like my friends who I watch Survivor with, I'm like, Say is making it deep just purely based off of that episode one.
Yeah.
Because and the fact I still just can't get over it. Like she has the record on the premiere episode now. Tony got that in episode 11. Like
An all-star season.
a winner season.
Yes.
And they decided the first episode of this season that Survivor love, that the production loves, to give Say the records with the most confessionals of 21 instead of
By
show
a
like.
huge margin.
And there's like when we ended that episode, there was at least 3 or 4 people who we knew like nothing about in that premiere episode, and they chose to cut those people's confessionals completely out to make sure Say had a lot of confessionals.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so there's something up, but like gameplay wise, you put Say on a season, she goes out pre-merge like 90% of the time, like based off of what we're seeing.
She's had some plot armor.
Yeah, yeah, she's gotten extremely lucky, and I think if Cedric was not on either of her tribes, I think she goes home. Like I think you need a
Yeah.
player like Cedric who is going to just make wild moves.
Because 11 out of 10 times that person takes because if we go all the way back to the Justin vote,
Mhm.
I think pretty much everyone is going to make that decision of like, all right, you're going to keep Justin and vote out Say, especially after you said you were going to vote out Say twice in a row.
Yeah,
It's like it's one of those things where it's like you've already burned so much. Like unless someone is like like it's one of those things where it's like no you can't there's no way
yeah,
but he did,
yeah,
so she has gotten super super lucky. She's lucky that Bianca did not have a vote and let that info out at the last possible sentence. If anything, she should be thanking Cedric. She should be
yeah,
for having this weird loyalty to Say,
yeah. Well, that's
because
what. Yeah,
it
yeah,
seems like a bad relationship. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Cedric should have still voted Say out in that swap tribe. Like there's no reason. There really is. Like Cedric gave, I think, the best explanation he could about like, oh, Bianca was playing us all, but like listen, that's not what was going on. You just, and like Chrissy literally said in like her one confessional that we managed to get from her was literally about how Cedric's game is going to like sync with Say because he keeps holding on to her. And it's like
Yeah,
and like he knows Say is bad for his game and he's actively keeping someone who's bad for his game around.
I just don't get it. And then like for whatever reason, Say this at Tribal Council was like put a stray on him, which didn't make sense because it's like it's 13 votes. You're not playing your shot in the dark, or you don't have an idol for yourself. No one is going to play an idol for you. why did you put one? I think it was like, my vote didn't matter and it's out of spite. But at the same time, it's like, no, if you have a revote or anything, like you need that.
Yeah,
Um, insane.
yeah. But yeah, there's that. Let's go to the immunity challenge here. Um,
Yep.
so Earn the Merge works pretty much exactly the same as what it did previous season because they reuse the same formats of the cycle.
Yeah.
When the teams were divided, I actually think I thought the Joe team was more likely at first, but then yeah, once I kind of noticed Cedric there, it kind of became tough. It,
Yeah.
if it was a case where you didn't have to go up a wall, that team, I think that team would have won. But because
Yeah. Because they were struggling at the puzzle. The other team, it makes sense. Oh, we have a pupper.
yeah, I got a pupper who is wanting to play right now or go outside. Don't know. He's doing things.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he's not happy. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
I am currently dog sitting, and this dog is like, I need 100% of your attention 100% of the time.
Okay, you're used to that by now with me. And
Yeah.
uh,
Okay. You go talk real quick. I gotta do time.
all right. So when we saw the divisions, I was like, it seemed pretty well balanced, but the one thing was Cedric, and that tended to be the thing that tipped in the other team's favor. Um, and then it was interesting how they went about it the with the endurance comp, in the sense of, all right, it's similar to what they did last season, like Joe said, where it's like 47. I still don't like it. Well, I mean, like for me, it's like it's just immunity. Or, at that point, it is the merge. It's just like you don't have a buff and stuff like that. What made earn the merge was you're on two teams. Both of you compete, both teams compete, and whatever team wins is safe, and the other side
Mhm.
isn't. And whether it's like, you know, out of those like six people on the other side, they get to vote amongst themselves, or if it's like, oh, out of all 13 people, they can only vote for this six. It's
Mhm.
like, I think the same complaint as last season. It's like, it's not really an earn the merge.
Yeah, it is just a merge vote because
Yeah.
it is an individual immunity challenge that is just like has two parts to
Yeah.
it.
And I mean, like, that is something they do a bunch of times, even where it's like in teams and they keep going through, like in 46, until
Yeah.
they narrow it down, or 43. It's not a uncommon thing they do.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah.
I still just like it. There's no team portion, but you just gotta do a challenge, and if you do it fast enough, you get safe. Definitely feel like they should definitely be taking a cue from us on that one. Survivor, if
Agreed.
you're listening,
Creative consultant.
that's how you should do 49 and 50. Earn the merge if you do earn the merge.
Yes, creative consultant. We need well, that was my idea. Fucking
Yeah.
I get creative consultant. No, no, no. Joe, you and I are business partners. Funny
Uh,
enough.
yes. But yeah, no, yeah, it's the team with David's team, and Kyle and Sar and all of them end up winning. So that means that they get to go on the merge feast with Say, who got it because she also found that advantage. Uh
Mhm.
and yeah, I do have a question because I noticed something in the challenge that seemed weird, and that's, and maybe I missed it. I didn't like go back to see if I heard like a rule or something, but didn't Say's like thing it seemed like it was one notch always lower than anyone else's. Like size wise, I always would notice it was like exactly a notch lower. And I was like, what? Why is hers so smaller than everyone else's?
I did not pick up on that, so I can't really contribute to it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. I don't know. Because like if it was an advantage, like, oh, you also get to do one less pull or something, they would have said something about it.
Yeah, and that's what
Um,
I thought was weird. It's because it seemed like super obvious. Like when they would do like the shot of everyone and the thing, it was like everyone's was like here, and then Sage was down here, like size
hmm.
wise, and I was just like, that doesn't
Was she
that
just holding it lower, or
no,
I don't
no,
know.
it didn't look like it. It did not look like there was a lot of difference in how it was done there. And also like you have to be at a certain area anyway, so you can't so like she's not going to like you can't
But yeah, we've seen people do it like maybe like right here, or like we
yeah.
saw like David, it was like around his,
Yeah, but
around his stomach area.
everyone else's looked like it was even except for hers. Hers was the only
Hmm.
one that didn't look like it was even.
Interesting.
So interesting thing.
Yeah, I
Look
didn't pick
back.
up
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. Go ahead and look back because it to me it was driving me insane. Like because I noticed it very quickly and then I couldn't unsee it until she got taken out
Yeah,
until she fell. Yeah,
which yeah. But I like that challenge. Also, Kyle won the first individual immunity. I'm like, yes, or not Kyle. Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle.
Uh,
You were wondering if that's his name.
well, no, because like, wasn't last season we had a Kyle that also won that challenge?
Yeah, Kyle was great at early
That's
merge
why I was
challenges.
confused.
Yeah,
That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, that was wait, well, huh?
yeah,
Um, I had my himbo moment, but yeah.
yeah,
So my winner pick won it. I was super happy because like, all right, I can relax. Then again, I think he's in a great position in the game regardless.
yeah. He wasn't in
So
danger.
no.
Yeah,
Could that change next episode? Always can.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's following the same formula as last time. He might actually be safe because it looks like the holding on challenge. Um, and yeah, there's Joe as well, but it looks like both of them are on the same time and they're just like duking it out to see who's top dog.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad David didn't get targeted here because you know when you have the big muscle guys, like sometimes you think maybe we take out them at this point before they start going on immunity runs. But luckily didn't have to worry about that. David's still here. He's everyone just likes him. Everyone likes the two big guys right now, and like we only
Yeah,
get people say how much they like them. We never.
yeah. I think it's also a thing. Like obviously, social game is really really great for them, but kind of like in the similar vein of like last year, where it's like even though Rachel won all those challenges, there was still debate of like, oh, is she still worthy of the win? Because I don't know, like throughout Survivor history, it's like even if you win all the challenges, doesn't guarantee you winning at the end.
Yeah.
Um, that's always been kind of like the age of like for me, like obviously, like if someone has comp wins under them, it's a bit flashier. It puts more of a target on their back, and so I'm like, yeah, I like it. But I know that and not everyone views it that way, and they look at it the strategic standpoint as well.
Mhm.
Um, because like I feel
Yeah.
like one of the biggest arguments, like, did you feel you need it? It's
Uh-huh.
like, well, yes. Also, it's like that's part of the game is playing for immunities. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the game I'm in right now,
yeah,
that's
I
always
will.
the question that I'm getting. I'm just like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's there's really like only one way to like answer it, and it is like I hope that my relations are good,
Yeah,
but like I don't know. Like it's just nice that I don't have to worry about it this round. Yeah.
org bot, org bot. Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know. Some people are like, no, you have to struggle. You have to be vulnerable the entire time. And it's like, well, no, if it costs me the game or going out early, fuck that shit.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. But I mean, we see it even with like if we're same body type and everything, Jonathor from like 42, even though he didn't win all the immunity challenges, they still kept him around. They didn't see him as like a big threat. They were like,
Hmm.
all right, yeah, he has muscles and he's good at these challenges. However, there are more strategical threats that we are worried about.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it ended up working out. So, I mean, they went to fourth and lost in fire to the firefighter. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
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 it's always that tough thing because like if you are going out there and you want to win challenges, you don't want the Supermen to be in like that deep into the game. But if you're out
yeah,
there and you care about the strategy, you want to be friends with those Supermen.
yeah. And we've seen it early on where they wanted, like people wanting to team up with them because they're a good meat shield and stuff, even though they're like, nah, screw the meat shields. We're all like a meat clump,
Yeah.
a meat alliance, meat wad.
Yeah. Just a lot of meaty people.
Yep.
Uh, but
Yeah.
but yeah, Kyle ends up winning. It came down to him and Star. David also was in it, and I thought he was looking rock solid. He had like the knight thing going on. He looked like he was
Yeah.
a knight there. He took it pretty hard. You could tell that he was not happy with losing there. He is definitely never going to throw a competition. He is going to try every competition to win. Um,
Yeah.
which sometimes that works, but I typically always have been saying if you look like you're one of these Supermen, don't win those first few challenges because if you do, your target is instantly there and is there for the rest of the season. But if you wait a few rounds, then you can start maybe going on a comp beast win.
Listen, I had to win when I had to because like I didn't know where I stood in the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Uh I think it's one of those things like especially if you were looking out of the bunch, he would be the most likely person to win it because, he has the muscles and everything. But there are
Mhm.
some factors when it comes to that balance and stuff. Like sometimes it's the win, sometimes it's like how the poll goes, stuff like that. It's also like there were so many factors that it's not just pure bulk. I think it is a good thing for him because it does put more attention on Kyle for
Yeah.
him. So um speaking of which, of attention on people, obviously we talked about, people wanting like to target Eva and stuff like that. Partially due to last season, or like not last season, last episode, where she had that very public open moment, but also her idol and the
Yeah.
fact that it is now like a public idol. People were spreading that mostly like charity, but
Yeah.
like spreading that around, being like, yeah, she has an idol, yeah, she has an idol. um do you think she should have probably just played that round just to get the target off her back, or do you think it's wise that she saved it?
I think you save it. I think she knew it wasn't her, and
Yeah,
I do think she's going to have to just play it to play it for the sake of playing it. But I don't think it needed to happen this round. I think next round
no,
will be likely, and then the round after that will probably be like it's. I think within the next two episodes we're going to see it played. Um,
agreed.
it's just a matter of when. But who knows? She might just have enough people that never make the move for her, and she ends up just not having to play it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like after 46, it's really changed the scope of like how people feel
Yeah,
slash use idols, because it's like, you don't want to go home with anything in your pocket.
yeah,
Even if it seems wasted, it's like, well, I'd rather have played it than, went home, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. Eva keeps on to the idol. She's really close with Star. Star also, by this whole like bringing up the charity thing to Eva, like definitely once again making that bond even stronger. Which is nice. I think Star should be in the Strong Players Alliance. I don't know why they haven't included Star. Star is a female basketball player.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like because when they swapped and stuff, like Star was kind of on the outs, but now that, I feel like it's something like, okay, now they're back on the tribe. Now her and Eva are cool. I feel like they're definitely going to bring her in as a number.
Yeah.
Um, but her being a core member, well, it depends on what side of the basically because like whenever you have a big alliance like that, there's always going to be like two factions, maybe three.
Mhm.
And it's like where those factions lie once you get to that point where you do have to cannibalize each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like Star is probably going to be at the very least a number and a part of it. It's just like she won't be the main part, at least how we're kind of like seeing the game right now, where it's like the main five is Kyle, Joe, Eva, David, and Shaheen.
Mhm.
Or at
Yeah.
least like that's what we were told in this episode. That's the five.
Yeah. And
And
that's what
people like Camilla is they can rope in, and then Star is someone they can rope in.
yeah. And what I was saying is like that's the group that they chose in the episode. There's a very good chance that they are in that group, but we're not being told that because that doesn't matter. Survivor does that all the time because we were told the people through a voiceover of the names and then like going through, you can easily cut that up into the people that you want to see, like who you want as the group, even if they end up saying a few extra names, you can then cut those names out if they wanted to.
The power of edit.
Exactly. So yeah, we know based on story that they listed off those five players who are very strong, who are, you know, likely
And the screen
people.
time.
Yeah, likely. Yeah, they are the main characters of the season.
Getting
and,
that screen time.
and now they're going to be taking out all the supporting characters.
Yeah. Um, so, they go around and they talk for a while, they weigh their options. And we did see earlier in this episode, oh, Siva 6 all the way. And obviously, I think that's something you say. It's nice in
Yeah,
theory to do it with it, but it's not smart. Um,
yeah.
especially since there's merge, and also it's like if you plan to work with anyone else, it's like you kind of have to.
Yeah, that's the issue if you never go to tribal with your group and then you try to be tribe strong. You just don't how can you trust people you've never gone to tribal? Like you need some way to like know that these people have my back. If you don't have
Friendship
that's
bracelets.
yeah, yeah, you don't do that. Don't do that in front of everyone. That's man, that's why Eva's not winning. She had those like few episodes that were like really bad gameplay that they chose to show us.
No. Uh, or I have an idea. You make a vision board for your tribe.
No, no, no vision board. Don't need a vision board.
Oh God,
Yeah,
no.
but yeah, no. Let's see what else is there for this episode. You can like,
Tribal was interesting, and
yeah,
it was like I think Jeff is trying to get on Dancing with the Stars season whatever. I don't follow it, but like it was like he made all this analogy about dancing
yeah,
and parties, and then there was also like and then on the flip side, there's also these themes of family.
yeah.
So
You
it was like if Dancing in the Stars and Fast and Furious had a baby with Survivor,
yeah.
and here we are.
Yeah, you can tell when Jeff loves a season because he gets super into it. He gets like
Yeah.
a lot more animated. He gets really excited about every little thing. And I feel like we can tell that Jeff just loves this cast and loves the season so far.
I love it too.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love it too. But like there's a stark difference between a season like this and like looking at Jeff in like a season like Nicaragua when when literally like
Checked out.
yeah, he's just like people would do something weird, and he's just like, okay, like that's his reactions.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely interesting. To see Jeff and do it. I felt like also in the new era, Jeff has been kind of one note of just this like happy, like yeah, you're here for experience. get the most out of your experience. I love this. Look at this show, and like it was just kind of like this like generic blanket. I feel like we're getting a little more back of that fun Jeff. We're getting like
Yeah,
sometimes it's spicy Jeff, sometimes it's just like what the fuck is
fun
happening
Jeff.
here? It's Jeff. Like yeah,
I think it's I think sometimes it depends on the cast and like what they're giving you. Like 46, you needed Spicy Jeff because it's like it was a hot mess season.
yeah,
It's a fun season. I love 46 personally.
yeah,
I understand it is a very messy season. So like Spicy Jeff had to come out. With this season, I feel like there is a lot of like love and good like peeps there. There is also messy, crazy gameplay
yeah.
as well. But I think like I don't know, maybe he does really like this cast a lot and it's like he really is enjoying it and the vibes of the tribes.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him, Jeff, cry in the previous episode, which has never happened in Survivor.
Yeah.
So, the fact that that happened means that Jeff's going to have a personal attachment to the season for the end of time.
Oh yeah,
This
100%.
will be a top five Jeff Probst season because of that moment.
And I don't blame. I think this is a really good one. So like, it's not like a Redemption Island thing where he's like, "Yeah, I love Redemption Island," and he's like,
What do you mean? I know you love Buster Rob, but what do you mean?
like that Billie Eilish GIF where it's just like,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this one's definitely better. I mean, I wouldn't put it as a top five season. I mean, obviously we haven't seen the ending yet.
we need to see the full thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
I think when I was doing a ranking all the seasons so far, like 47 is in the top 10 for me. This
it,
one, like it's what?
I have not nowhere near top 10. That is not
Well,
even
you're a bit salty about that season.
yeah, I know. And you love it because of what happened. So that's what got you into that. So I actually
I really enjoy it for other reasons too.
I think I might have put it as like 32. Like I think it's like really low down there.
You're mean. You're just me.
I think the cast is not good. I think it is actually a lot of subpar players, but the edits it makes them some of them try to look better. But if you actually examine games, not very good. But
Joe is
regardless,
just a hater.
not not hater. If the draft was different, I'd still have this pick. Um, but regardless, that was
Well,
47. This is 48. I mean, 48 might make top 15. Might make top 15 for
it
me.
has potential to go pretty far up there.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. I'm definitely
Yeah.
in my mind assuming that this is with a Joe win because it just feels like this is the Joe win. Um, uh, there's one thing also I had not brought up because there is a editing tactic that has spoiled essentially the winner if you compare it to 42, 44, and 46. And Joe has that same spoiler for 48. Um,
Which
and
is
and that is so the trailer that they show on the next season on Survivor, the previous one, when they know the full season, they have the winner say have the second to last confessional of that trailer, and so in 42 Marianne had it, in 44 Jam Jam had it, and 46 Kenzie had it, 48 Joe has
oh
it.
god. Well, hopefully Survivor catches on because I'd hate going into Survivor 50 knowing who's going to win.
Exactly. So, and they can't do that with the odd seasons because they don't know who the winner is yet, so they can't use that trick. But they've done
Yeah.
it. They've done it in all new era, even seasons so far. So,
Well, that's a no-no. Uh, yeah, we can't. Like, yeah, if we pick up on that, you can't keep doing it.
yeah, and it's one of those things that they're like, it's. I'm sure there's a format thing somewhere, and they just kind of take it and maybe change a couple things here or there, but they keep a lot of the same things, and like patterns are very easy. And the fact that Joe of all people are the one is the one who's like got this clear winner edits, who has this now on it, it like really makes it feel like, oh
He's winning.
yeah, Um, so yeah. Let's see. Anything else we want to talk about for the episode?
The episode itself, no, I feel like lines have been kind of drawn, and like even if that is the case for now, I do see things moving forward. Like, it's kind of like what David said, or I think it's David, if memory serves me. It's like even if you're on the bottom of this vote, tomorrow's like a new day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You should never shut any door in Survivor. If one thing doesn't go your way, don't freak out and say game's over. I'm out.
You don't say.
I don't even know what I don't even know what that was
Say
for.
is the contestant
Oh,
here.
say,
I know
yeah.
you were. I know you were also trauma dumping a little
Yeah.
from your season, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, no. I guess let's go into confessionals then.
yes, because we value screen time on this channel.
Yes. So Charity goes out with 14 confessionals. So
Okay.
only one more than Justin, who was third boot there.
Yeah.
Most still in the game, 46 with Say. Say is crushing confessional counts. Um, the second most confessionals is Kyle with 27.
All
Uh,
right. Yeah.
then we got Eva with 24.
She's going up a little bit more.
Yep, yep. And then we got a tie between David and Camilla with 23.
Interesting.
Yeah, David has been soaring in the
Yeah.
conventions.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, that makes sense. I feel like he always gets like two or three each episode, or like three or four each episode.
yeah. And then Shaheen has 19 confessionals.
All
Um,
right.
and then next up we got Joe with 16 confessionals.
How
Then
many did
we
he get this episode?
he got three.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
so a fair amount. Almost everyone got like three or four confessionals except for Kristen who got one. I hate to see that happen for Christy. Yeah,
It is kind of sad.
yeah. And then Cedric has 15 confessionals. And so does Mitch, so they're tied. And then who's next? Is it Star? Yeah, yeah. I guess it's next is Star with 11 confessionals.
Okay.
And
Wait,
oh
where's Mary?
yeah, I just realized I was like I thought I said Mary with it, but Mary is tied with Camilla and David.
Oh, that's interesting. Especially because she didn't have a big edit the first couple episodes. It is saying a lot that she's really gotten more love.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but then yeah, Star's got 11, and then at the end we got Chrissy with 8 confessionals.
Yikes.
Yeah,
That's not even a fourth of the Banu bar.
no. Imagine making the merge and you only talked 8 times. And we don't even get like scenes. Like there's some people who get like low confessional counts, but like they'll get scenes or they'll be in
Yeah.
challenges and we get to see them. Kyle was an instance the last season where his confessionals were pretty low, but because he was a challenge person, at least people could be like, I saw Kyle this episode.
Yeah.
It feels like you don't really get to say you see Chrissy in episodes.
Yeah. It's yeah, she's not. I remember when Bianca was like, looks like I'm being purple edited. It's like if you only knew.
Yeah.
Bianca ended with more confessional than Chrissy still has right now.
Yeah. She has Bianca ended with double the amount of confessionals Chrissy has right
Which is, yeah,
now.
I
Not
feel
great.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes someone's just gotta get the short end of the stick. And for whatever reason, however Chrissy's story ends, it's because she did not matter in the grand scheme of things.
That's a crueler fate than anything I can imagine.
Yeah.
Less screen time.
Yeah. Uh Imagine if you went on Survivor and got purple at Survivor. Like
I
that would be the worst thing the world could ever have.
I well, first off, there's no way they're purple with me. I'm too big of a personality
Yeah.
to not have at least two confessionals each episode.
Yeah.
All you've known me for almost 10 years. We've been really good friends for about over half of that
Yeah.
because we started hanging or we started talking more in like 2019.
Yeah.
But like you've heard all the crazy shit that I've seen. You've seen
Yeah.
some of the crazy shit I've done.
Yeah. I know you're gonna try to do things and be in the back of your mind, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna get screen time off this. You're
Here's the thing. I just do things. I just have this X factor when it comes to these games that I stand out. The last game I played, I had a whole story arc about me and my fucking jacket. Like in the sense
no.
of like my me wearing my jacket was a plot point and like a consistent thing that they kept bringing up. I haven't watched the full thing, but every time I was on, it's about my jacket
Uh-huh.
and me and being a himbo. Like, leave it to me for a tournament like that to have my own little story.
Uh-huh.
I find a way.
Nice, nice. Well, with that being said, I think let's move on to MVP and LVP.
MVP, I'm going to give it to Kyle. I think him winning, I think he's in a really strong position, at the very least, from this episode moving. This episode and maybe a couple down the road. So I'm going to say him.
I am going to give it to Star. I think that this was a
Yeah.
massive down. She went from I don't think she's winning still. There's no I don't
Yeah.
her edit has been too bad for her to have any chance of winning. But like if you were out there on the island without seeing the edits, she went from like 10th place likelihood to like moving up quite a bit off of just this
Yeah.
short period.
Yeah, I was like watching it. I'm like, yes, this is the star I wanted to see. This
Yeah,
was the star I was promised.
yeah,
Pre-season, like I said earlier, I'm like, I was excited when she got
yeah,
excited and stuff. I was a little bit taken aback. I was like, okay, so we're getting
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Nice.
I know it's been crazy that she's been purpled this season as well. Like she is a huge personality, and yet for some
Mhm.
reason, uh, we're now seeing it at the merge.
I think maybe because now she's going to tribal and there's more, like sometimes
Yeah,
you don't have too much going on story wise early on. I mean, she kind of did with the whole thing between her
yeah,
and Eva and the idol. Like she did, but like,
yeah,
you know, there were other tribes with other storylines that were soaking up more screen time.
yeah. And well, but the thing is also like they definitely were making Star to look like the dumb one of that group. I
Yeah.
like it, like she got like the dodo music and just being like, oh, everyone else here knows what's happening with like Eva's conversation Star except for Star.
Mhm.
Star was not able to do the idol, and then Eva does it, and then she gives the idol to Star. Like there's a lot of things that just felt like oh my gosh, what are you doing, Star? But finally
Yeah.
we finally got a good positive episode of Star, which is crazy. I didn't think that was not on my bingo card going into this episode.
Yeah. And I'm proud, and I'm proud. I'm happy that you did because, like I said, she was like an honorable mention for me for this one because,
Yeah,
like, this is what I was looking for Star. I'm like, this is it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then
yeah, LVP.
LVP, if I'm going to say I'm going to give it to Say, even though she survives this, she just can't shut up. Like I'm sorry, Say, but you got to stop. You have to stop talking. Like play the
It's
silent
good TV though.
play the silent game for about the next 140 hours, and maybe you'll get far.
It's good TV.
Yeah,
I understand why you have her as LVP.
yeah,
Um, honestly, because I can't even really fault Bianca, oh, not Bianca, Charity too
Charity.
much.
Yeah.
It
So
will be the
I
last time I make that mistake.
yeah, Charity's Rose mistake was just Siva didn't lose anyone. Like, and I know that there's
Yeah.
little like she had like a couple like I think they tried to show some mistakes, but like at the end of the day, that's really what's
Yeah, and it's also like she didn't know she was talking about getting rid of someone's number one. Like she's strategizing. You can't blame her too much. Maybe she was harder in the end and stuff, but like I don't fault her for that. I can't even fault Cedric too much because I think he's in a safe spot for a while because I feel like his lack of prowess and challenges is really going to make people want to keep him around. So I say just by default and not one playing horrendously this episode, because even Say obviously getting the advantage and having food in her belly for the next one and surviving
oh we
still
we
has
didn't
a lot
even
going against
we
her.
didn't even talk about how she fucked that up too. She comes back and starts telling everyone,
Brags.
look at all of this great stuff I
You can
ate.
see it on Mitch's face too, where
Yeah.
she's like, "Well, I'm happy for you."
Yeah, yeah. So she fucked that up too. So I mean, like anything she does, she, you know how like Midas has the golden touch, she has like the curse touch. If she gets something, she's gonna ruin it.
She's entertaining though, so it makes up for it. But
Yeah,
I can't choose anyone else for LVP.
it
I
it
can't.
it it was so much like Rome last season when Rome like had the fish and was like eating it in front of people and everyone was just like getting mad at Rome. This was the exact same thing, but like it looked like Say was happy as well. She was smiling, like she was like, yeah,
Oh no,
I
no, she had food. She had
I
food. It was
but if it listen, it doesn't. I think Eva could have told, like saw that Mitch and whoever else was not happy about how Say was talking
yeah.
about the food, and Say didn't care. Say was like, ah, I
She
got,
never cares, and that will be her downfall,
yeah.
unfortunately.
She, I really, I hope Say um just sees the show and can like recognize these mistakes, but I feel like her personality is going to say other people should correct themselves to me.
And then, I think that's part of Say's charm because, like I said, not great gameplay,
Yeah,
very entertaining to watch.
yeah,
There's a reason why they gave her, and it's not just because she's going to be super important. She is genuinely a very entertaining contestant.
yeah. She is like if Emily Flippin didn't have a hero arc.
I think that's a pretty good parallel.
Yeah. So we're getting that this season. Which you know what, we'll see how it goes. But man, if we're looking purely from like a gameplay perspective, says, I mean that there's a lot. There's quite a few bad players this season, and then and then you got your good players, and then you got people who were like, are they even on the islands? Are they taking a
Yeah.
vacation? Like, what's going on with them?
Chrissy, wake up.
Yeah.
Where's your edit?
um. Okay. Well, I think that does it here.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add here before we end?
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything, even the next time on Survivor. But yeah, I really like this episode. I'm excited. I'm very excited for next week to see what it brings us.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, with that being said, we will see you all in the next one.
Peace.